Hello and welcome to another Build the Terminator. We've hit parts 103 and 104. 103 is a big chesty plate, and 104 is, I'm not sure what's in there. I've got a feeling it's not very exciting, but we'll find that out soon enough. Okay, first of all, I do apologise for my shadow of my phone there, but these things are more important, I think, because we're nearing the end. So you won't have to put up with it for too much longer. The first thing I need to do is push this piece through that slot there, through the little letterbox, and apparently it's going to magically come out and form a flap in the front, because you have to hook it, the one bit at either edge, either side, because it's got the bits that stick out there, as you can see. Let's see if this actually works. Live on camera. Is my luck going to be in? Oh, look at that, it does work. So there we go. So we've got the flappy bit coming out the bottom there, like that. Okay, then I need to take this piece, which is plastic. I wish it was metal, but I need to fix this over the holes there, either side, to basically pin this down. Okay, that's pinned down and that's not going anywhere. So that's that bit done. Okay, next I have to take these two rubber things and I need to put them into these holes here. Now you only get given two of these, so if you mess it up, you're done for. I don't know how far they actually have to go down. I'm just guessing. Anyway, let me work this out. Okay, well, they're nice and flush there. I think they're supposed to be going down to that. There's a photo of one of them, and it's showing it flush, because, like I say, these instructions are really good, and they'll always show you where you need to be at in each stage. So I think that's how they need to be. Okay, here comes another really important part. We've got to take this bit I've just been working on with all the springs and the flap, and I need to fit those two pegs into those rubber sockets. Well, the sockets now anyway. Let me get this on. Whoa, is all I can say. It was a bit tricky finding where exactly I needed to aim for, but once I found that place, they sunk right into those rubber holes really nicely. So that is definitely in the right place. Okay, I've turned him over now, which was quite difficult. I think it's the only time I have to turn him over. I need to put a little screw in that bit right there, I've worked out, and there's one the other side as well. And as far as I can tell, it is genius how these bits have lined up to be able to do that. Okay, and then I need to put the longer silver screws, which I'm not going to show you all of that because that's going to fall out my fingers, I just know it. And I have to screw that bit down either side. Alright, I'm at a loss here. Do you know why? See this? There's no problem getting that in. The problem is it won't stay in because it keeps coming straight back out again, as if this screw is just too thin for the metal. So to be honest, I'm at a loss. So I'm going to leave those two out. I don't know how much risk that is, but there is another two holding it in at the bottom, so I'm just going to have to hope it doesn't matter massively right now that those are going to be left open. I'm going to look up a solution. I've looked at World of Wayne's build, and he just said if you're having problems getting them in, push that side. Well, there's no problem getting them in. It's just keeping them in there because they keep coming straight back out again. So I don't know, that's very strange. Whilst I look up a solution, I'm going to move on. Okay, now another really big part. I need to put the larger spring onto this piece here, which is on the top of the arm. So that's going to be an interesting task. Got to bend the arm down again, hopefully not break it. And same again on the other side. Okay, they're both on there now. It says to glue them. It says to glue the end of the spring. Do you remember what happened the last time I glued the end of the springs? I had to cut the springs off because they wouldn't come off the little finger joints or the hand joints. So no, I did not glue those, but they don't look like they're going to come off anytime soon. They look like they're really comfortable on there, so I'm happy with that for now. And the next part is I need to join the smaller springs up to, if I can get that out, up to the side of the head. And that's on both sides. And again, for now, I'm not going to glue anything, because if this goes wrong, that's in a really delicate place, the side of the head. So, because this is glued into place, remember? So I'm just going to push those on. Look at that, people, it's looking great. All four are on there now, without glue for now. I don't know whether I'll ever put glue in there. This part is not finished yet. Okay, the final part is putting 4 of these, two each side, into there, and putting it onto there, and then fixing that in place with one of these. And these are Allen screws, quite big Allen screws, and they've even given me a new Allen key. Did they have that little faith in me that I'd lose the original one? I don't know if that's the same size, but anyway, same again on the top one, like so. Is it just me, or does that look uneven? Anyway, they're all screwed in to a greater or lesser extent. This one especially is a little bit loose, and I think this top one is as well. Not loose like that, I mean loose as in screwed in loose. But I'll see how it turns out. That was part 103, but we're not done yet. It's time for 104, and I've got all sorts of bits and pieces here. I have no idea what those are yet, but I do know one thing. I do know 2 things. One thing, this is the piece that I'll be working on, and the other thing is, unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn him on his front again. Luckily, it looks like I'll be working on the front parts first. Okay, I've been concentrating really hard, and I hope this is right. I have to take this bit, which is marked with an L, and then you need to line up that slot there with that slot there, and stick it on there. And also, it's got a little peg there at the bottom, and that lines up with that bit there. So, hopefully, if I've got this right, this should all slot into place like clockwork. And there we go, like so. And then I need to screw this in right there with basically the smallest screw I can find. That's my technical term right now because I'm concentrating so hard here. I've done the same for the other side, and it's worked out really well. So well, in fact, that I wonder why they didn't have that design for the top of the chest at the front, instead of having me haphazardly try and put the side pieces on, because this is a very similar piece. Anyway, next I need to take one of these pieces, well, 2 of these, and put glue on that end, not the end with the lip as they call it, and then glue these into that hole there, as you can see right there at the end. So those are going to be sticking at the end. Quite why, I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll find out. Alright, this is another ×2 job. I have to take this part and this part, both are plastic, and I need to push. It's got to be this end because that's got 2 gaps across. That end hasn't. I'm going to go for this end, and you have to push this ball right in until it clicks into place. Always a scary procedure. Well, happily, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be. And next, I have to push these into these holes there. It says they're not firmly fixed yet. I don't even go in any further than that, I don't think. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I am. There we go. That's them in there. Alright, next I'm taking this piece and the other side as a matching piece on the other side, fitting it into those two slots there, with those two slots there. So test fitting it at this stage, just to make sure that it goes in. There we go, like that. And then after that, oh there we go, slot it in even further. I need to glue along the, it says horizontal surfaces of this bit, so I'm going to fit both of these. Hopefully, you know what, it's not going to matter too much about those, because I'm never going to see them again, because this back plate is now going right over the top of them. So let me get this into place and I'll show you where you need to screw. Alright, the back panel is in place and I just need to screw it in there, there, there and there. Can't see that hole, but obviously it's a little bit, it's right by my finger where you can't see. Handy, eh? Looks a bit like a coffin, that shape there, which is perhaps a little bit worrying. I hope that's not a premonition of things to come when I finish my Terminator. And there we have it. That was 103 and 104. These went in very nicely. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't matter too much that there's two screws missing either side of the inside of that chest plate on the back. Time will tell. And I think if I had put them in there, just for the sake of them being inside, I would have heard a little rattling around before too long, because they just weren't going to stay in there. So that was a bit strange, but other than that, it's been a big 2 parts, I think. Hope you've enjoyed watching me struggle, but I've enjoyed the process. So that being said, well, that's a bit uneven. Oh, there we go, that's why. Thank you very much for joining me here again, but until we meet again, see you next time.